What is going on, Momentous family? Today we're going to be talking about the cost of living in Frisco, Texas compared to other areas in the country. I am personally super excited about it because I live here. Guys, how you doing? My name is Patrick Robertson. I'm a real estate agent here in Frisco, Texas, and I'm here to help people find a better home. I was a high-end residential builder up in Westchester County, New York. We remodeled homes, we built homes. I know homes in and out, and I'm here to help deliver a better home buying experience and selling experience for homeowners with a construction background. If you guys like this message and you want to hear more, give us a like, share, and subscribe as we continue to grow this channel. That will help us give the encouragement to get the message out and keep coming back each and every week. Part one, what we're going to talk about is housing affordability. And if you move from New York City or Westchester County like I did, you're going to see a substantial difference in the actual cost of housing. For example, in Frisco, Texas, the average medium home is around $450,000, which is just north of the national average of around $400,000 for a home. In Westchester County, a median home price is around $750,000. If you want to talk about Manhattan, which I don't know really if you call those houses, but they're well into the $1 million just for a median-sized home. So housing affordability, Frisco definitely wins on this end. There are some homes in this area that you can grab for say $400,000, that's kind of the entry, and then they go way over $1 million, but the median is right there, and that's $450,000 range. Part two, we're gonna talk about Texas. Everyone wants to move to Texas, and if you haven't moved to Texas, you're dreaming about doing it. So taxes in Texas are amazing. Compared to California, compared to New York, this is one of the freer states where we get to put our money towards good causes and get to keep the rest. Texas is one of 7 states that has no income tax. So that means you got 43 states in this country that are gonna charge you extra on top of the federal tax. Texas, we don't do that here. If you compare the numbers, California has a 13.3% income tax on top of the federal tax. So that's 13.3% you're saving every single year if you move to Texas. Part three I want to talk about is actual living expenses, and that is going to vary drastically from say New York to California. Gas alone down here, it's around $3 right now in October of 2023. Up in New York, prices are around $4. We've seen diesel up in New York around $6. So that's a general idea. Groceries are generally 15 to 20% cheaper. Say a pound of chicken in New York is about $4.50. Down here, it's about $3.50 for the same quality. And utilities around here in Frisco, Texas, if you want utilities for the month, generally that's gonna be around the $250 to $350 size, depending on what size of home you have. In New York, that's gonna be anywhere between $350 to $450 and up. With that being said, again, Frisco, Texas, compared to these higher income areas, it is definitely winning out overall. One of the last categories I wanna touch on in terms of cost of living, and that is the actual transportation costs. Like we said before, gas here is around $3. In California right now, it's about $4.50 or more for a regular tank of gas. The other thing that people don't always consider is how Frisco is actually structured. So Frisco, there's a lot of big corporations, a lot of big businesses right down the road while having tons of housing nearby. So the way they design this city and the surrounding areas like Plano, like the Colony and everything, is that you don't actually have to drive far to get to work. A 20-minute drive can get you to thousands and tens of thousands of job opportunities. There's no actual need to make that 45 or an hour trek down to the city of Dallas just for your job. It really is this type of environment where you get a holistic living quality, thus actually reducing your transportation expenses. The one thing to note on transportation, there isn't this really big public bus system or anything like that. There is a main rail line that goes into the city of Dallas, which is great for if you want to go to festivals and these different things. But other than that, you do need to have a car. The last section I want to touch on to wrap this whole thing up and to give you an idea of Frisco, Texas to a more higher cost area. Now we've been really comparing Westchester County, which is the city and the county that I grew up in, and places like California, because I think a lot of people live in these areas and they want to get out because they might enjoy the quality of living, but the cost, they don't see the value in it, right? I myself, I lived in Westchester County, New York. Great quality, great well-being, great amenities, great activities you can go and do, but does it really qualify to have your house at $800,000 and pay $30,000 in taxes every single year. I didn't think so personally. I also chased the better weather. Westchester County, a household on average makes around $99,000 a year. Down in Frisco, however, an average household makes $128,000 a year. That's because there's great employers and great job opportunities that aren't seen in like Westchester, New York. So from a median income standpoint, and then you can pile on the actual cost of living, people are making more money and actually spending less day to day to day. So when you do the math and you do the numbers, the actual expense ratio is quite insane. People might be a 50% difference between how much more money they could make and then how much less money they could be spending. Because if they're making an extra 20%, 30%, and then they're spending it less, say 15 or 20%, that's a 50% change. Drastic, right? The other thing to keep in mind, and when we talk about cost of living, is the opportunity. Us here at Momentous Living, we don't believe we should stay stagnant in life, right? That's why we want to help people find better homes. That's why we want to help people find a better living for their family. Maybe upgrade your home of where you've been at, right? It's the idea to get better. Now in Frisco, there is building everywhere. There's opportunities coming up everywhere. We have Universal Studios coming out with an amusement park right up in northern Frisco. Corporations are coming in all the time. So Goldman Sachs, 4,000 jobs coming here. They're building new facilities. Skyrise is going up all the time. That doesn't happen in a seasoned market like Westchester, California. I personally did not experience that type of job growth. So closing remarks right now. Overall, Westchester or California, these high cost of living places that I personally came from, they just don't compare. Actually, Coldwell Banking, if you do, say, Katona, New York, which is the town I grew up in, saying you're gonna move to Frisco, Texas, they give you a 90% rating, meaning that 90% of the categories compared to Katona to Frisco, they all add up and Frisco just wins every single time because it's so much less, and it gives you 90% that you should probably move there. Compiling on the quality of life, I absolutely love it here. Now, I have a biased and an unbiased opinion. I moved from Westchester to here. I've been here for a month and I absolutely love every single step of it. So guys, that's basically the general overview. Thank you so much for joining us here today. This is Patrick Robertson of Momentous Living. If there's anything I can do to help you, please let me know. Information is down in the description. Give us a like, a subscribe. We are here for you guys. If you have any questions, let us know and we'll let you go.